Hi everyone, I'm David Wojcik. Welcome to this special edition of MBOT TV. On Monday, October 21st, Canadians went to the polls to decide on Canada's next Prime Minister. We want to congratulate Mr. Trudeau on his re-election as Prime Minister and to our 6 incumbent Liberal MPs who are all re-elected in their respective ridings. This will make the next several years very interesting for Prime Minister Trudeau as he must negotiate with other parties to pass into legislation the many promises he made on the campaign trail. This also gives leverage to the other parties to temper the Liberal platform and augment proposed legislation with their own positions. This gives your Mississauga Board of Trade an excellent opportunity to work with our 6 federal MPs to ensure the business community is well represented in Ottawa. To give us a full report and news from the Canadian Chamber of Commerce is our Vice President of Government and Stakeholder Relations, Brad Butt. Brad?
Thanks, David. Well, Canadians had their say on October the 21st and have given Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and the Liberals a continued mandate to govern this country, albeit in a minority government situation. The Liberals won 157 seats in the House of Commons. A minimum of 170 is needed to form a majority government. The Conservatives finished second with 121 seats, the Bloc Québécois got 32, the NDP 24, and the Green Party 3. In Mississauga, the 6 incumbent Liberal MPs, Navdeep Bains, Peter Fonseca, Ikra Khalid, Gagan Sikand, Omar Al-Gabra, and Sven Spengman were all handily re-elected in their ridings. And the Liberals remain in full control of the Greater Toronto Area. Canada has not had a minority parliament since 2008 to 2011, and concerns are always raised about the stability and length of time it can run until someone forces an election. Most pundits feel that the parties are likely to not be interested in another election anytime soon and will cooperate issue by issue. However, as is the convention, should the Liberal government lose a vote of non-confidence, an election would almost certainly be the result. In the next couple of weeks, Prime Minister Trudeau will name a cabinet and call the House of Commons back, where they will table a throne speech setting out the direction for the new government. Expect to hear many of the same things from the campaign in that speech. Making life more affordable, action on climate change, investments in infrastructure and transit, a move toward a national pharmacare program, and a very prickly approach to the resource development and pipelines, if at all. Cooperation with like-minded progressive parties is likely in the first year or so on the issues of common interest. The Honourable Perrin Beatty, President and CEO of the Canadian Chamber of Commerce, released this statement following the election results. The Canadian Chamber of Commerce congratulates Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and the Liberal Party of Canada on winning a second term. Canada has finally seen the end of a bitterly divisive campaign. Today is an opportunity to turn the page, to redirect efforts toward the betterment of all Canadians, including the business community. Canada's 43rd Parliament has been elected to govern on behalf of all Canadians, in all regions and in all sectors of the economy. Now that the campaign is over, MPs of all parties need to put our country's needs ahead of narrow partisanship. The challenges facing the country at the start of the election remain. We hope to see true statesmanship from Canada's leaders and a genuine willingness to make Parliament work for all Canadians. Businesses and investors are watching carefully to see how we come together to secure our future. Canada needs its leaders to quickly move from the partisan theater of the campaign to the sober reality of governing. Building a new consensus and addressing our economic challenges cannot wait. Earlier this year, the Canadian Chamber presented an economic roadmap for Canada through Vote Prosperity Platform. We and the entire business community are prepared to work with the new Parliament to grow our economy, restore investor confidence in Canada, and create greater prosperity for all Canadians. Along with the 450 local chambers of our network, we are ready to play our part. We ask our elected representatives to demonstrate both the civility and the vision of that our country needs. at this critical time. Well, your Mississauga Board of Trade has issued a release congratulating our local MPs and pledging to work with them on those issues important to business. MBOT also hosted an all-party debate on October 15th and actively promoted the Vote Prosperity 2019 Canadian Chamber of Commerce election platform. Back to you, David.
Thanks, Brad. Next week, we return with a regular edition of MBOT TV and our coverage of the TAP program and our conversation with Ontario Minister of Infrastructure, Laurie Scott. Until next week, this is David Wojcik wishing you continued success in your business.